So again, today we'll be reviewing GlobalSearch C2 for Business Essentials. What is it? Well, GlobalSearch C2 is a cloud-hosted document storage solution designed to centrally store and manage your important business documents. As we all know, we live in an age where information is key, and access to that information and those important business documents is very important. So GlobalSearch C2 provides a cloud-hosted repository where you can store, manage, and secure your important business documents. It's built on Amazon Web Services, which provides significant reliability and data durability. And Business Essentials is a pre-configured database for rapid deployment. So it allows you to get going very quickly and very easily, not requiring any infrastructure, and coming canned to include practice areas for accounts payable, accounts receivable, human resources, and contracts management. In addition, it also comes with free self-paced e-learning courses that are available from Square 9 to allow your users to learn more about the solution and your administrators to take ownership and control of the system. It really is a great entry-level transition for enterprise content management. So let's get in and let's take a look at the GlobalSearch C2 solution. So this is the main user interface into GlobalSearch. Again, GlobalSearch is a central storage repository for your important business documents where you can manage them, store them, and secure them. Business Essentials is a database that, as I said before, comes pre-configured for 4 key practice areas: accounts payable, accounts receivable, contracts, and human resources. Documents that originate in paper, they can easily be scanned into this solution using a desktop scanner. Documents that are already electronic, perhaps that are scanned from a multifunction device, or maybe even an e-document format like a Word document, spreadsheet, they can be imported in their native format and stored in this solution. Now, a lot of people will say, well, we already have a system that does that. We use Microsoft Windows folders. But there's a big difference with using an enterprise content management solution like GlobalSearch. And it's that we sit on top of Microsoft SQL Server. That's what allows us to tag the documents that come in here with important information that we can use to find them downstream. Take, for instance, these accounts payable documents. You'll see here the structure of accounts payable allows us to store the documents by vendor name, the record type, the date, the invoice number, PO number, and amount. Very different from a Windows system where you've got an arbitrary file name and a folder to put the document into. And like me, if you've ever created a Word document, saved it, and then couldn't find it a couple of days later, that really underscores the importance of a managed solution like this. In our world, we can very easily run a search, type in information that we know, like an invoice number, and immediately be taken to the document in question to then make a business decision or take an action. So that's the power and the flexibility of the GlobalSearch C2 content management solution. Now, a lot of people might say, well, that looks great, but how the heck do I get all my information in there? It must be a painstaking process to file these documents away. And it doesn't have to be. There's a couple of different ways that we allow you to really streamline that process of capture and indexing. The first is just with a simple drag and drop. So if you've got an electronic document, you can drag it and drop it into the archive, and this will present the document in our viewer, but this time with the indexing fields ready to be filled out. Now, for anything that's handwritten, you could certainly key in that information into the fields, but we have a great tool called key-free indexing. Key-free indexing takes the image document and turns it into text, and that allows me to point and click on any of the information in the body to fill out my fields. So you'll see the vendor name field is highlighted. If I just click on the vendor name within this document, it fills that information out for me. Now, you may have information that's presented in a drop-down list, like the record type. So here I could pick from a static list of document types that I'm managing. And then using key-free indexing, move on to click on the date, the invoice number, the order number, and then the total amount. So now that I've saved that document, filed it away, and categorized it, it's available in our system, indexed with all of the information that we filled out, and can easily searched, retrieved, and worked on. Now, you may also want to bring documents in from a multifunction device. Here we're simulating the front panel of a multifunction printer that has scan capabilities. So in addition to a desktop scanner, you could walk up to a multifunction printer, select the human resources location perhaps, and maybe you're scanning an I-9. At a wider look, again, you walk up to the multifunction printer, put the document into the scanner, choose the human resources location, and the document will be scanned and routed directly into GlobalSearch C2 using a tool that we call Direct Connect. Direct Connect is monitoring the folder that we're scanning to, saving the document into C2, and now very quickly and easily, I can choose a queue search that presents to me documents that are awaiting indexing. So you can see here's that I-9 document that we've scanned in from our multifunction device, and now we could go through the process of indexing or filing that document away into the system. Within the human resources practice area, we're storing the document with the employee's name, Robert Smith, the department, which in this case he works for marketing. We can choose the HR category. This is an onboarding file, and that will determine the resulting list of documents where I can choose the I-9 eligibility form. Keying in the document date will allow me to finish the process. So that's another way that we can very easily get documents into this solution. Now, in addition to these built-in capabilities, you have the opportunity to expand GlobalSearch C2 with other capabilities for capture automation, namely our global capture solution. This adds in the ability to do more structured optical character recognition. So if you're looking at that key-free indexing process and saying, do I have to click every single time? Adding global capture to this solution will allow you to build a template where you can look at certain areas of the page, process the document, and save it directly indexed. Now, once we've captured the documents into this solution, now we can take a look at the multitude of ways that we can search and find them. Looking in human resources, again, just a quick review here. Their documents are being stored by the name, department, category, record type, and date. And you can see there are different categories here for the different types of documents. So we've got an onboarding tab, a payroll tab, performance tab, etc. So that's the default configuration of Business Essentials for human resources. Now maybe we're getting an I-9 audit, and we need to go in and we need to search the system for all of our I-9 documents within a certain period. So we can access predefined searches that come with your Business Essentials database. This allows us to search by document type across all employee files, records that require indexing as we saw, and down here you'll see there's an I-9 compliance search. This allows me to enter a start date and end date for documents that I'm looking for. So maybe we need to go back to 2015, we're being audited, and we need to produce all I-9 documents from the second half of calendar 2015. So quickly and easily we can do a date-based search, we can run that and see, here's Michael Jones' I-9 document. So it's the only document that's returned. Right from here, we could take the document, export it out. If there were multiple documents, we could take them out as a zip file and create a package that could be easily handed off to the auditors to produce that required evidence. Moving into the accounts receivable area, you'll see that documents in here are set up to be stored by the accounts receivable record type, customer name, order number, document date, amount, and invoice number. And we've got a tab view so we can see payments, delivery receipts, orders, and invoices. Now, perhaps we're on the phone with a customer who's disputing receipt of goods, and we need to figure out, have we shipped the goods and have they received them? So we can search the system using predefined searches within accounts receivable. Searching across all of the accounts receivable documents, we could specify the order number as provided by the customer and search for the corresponding delivery receipt. Now you'll see here that we do have a delivery receipt in the system. We can take a look at it, check out its details. So you'll see here this is a delivery receipt from December 8th, 2018. Scrolling down, we can see that there is an annotation on the document where the customer had indicated receipt on 12/10. So fortunately, our delivery driver did get the delivery signed off by the customer. So we could go in and we could mark up this document with a freehand draw to circle that. We could put a note on the document that says customer indicated receipt of goods on 12/10. And now we could output this document by printing it or emailing it and easily solve this issue. Now I can include the annotation so that the customer sees my markup that I've provided on the document and name the attachment by the record type. This is going to integrate with my email system, attach the document, generate a new email message, and allow me to send this document back out to the client and solve the issue and get paid for that order. Now, maybe while I'm on the phone with the customer, they also dispute the payment terms. They say, well, wait a minute here, on the invoice, the payment terms indicate that we're being paid or that we require payment net 30. However, we were expecting net 60 payment terms. So maybe we want to refer to the supplier agreement that we have inside of our contracts archive. So the contracts archive has been stored to manage contracts by the contract party, the type of contract that it is, the document date, and keywords. So if we wanted to find the Blues Note contract and go directly to payment term section, we could do a keyword-based search. This is now searching the body of the documents, and you'll see this finds one Blues Note contract with 2 hits for the word payment. When we open the document up, you'll see that it takes us directly to the first result within the document, indicating the payment terms within the supplier agreement as being net 30. So now we could perhaps put a highlight on the document that highlights that section, and again, email this or print this out, distribute this document out to close the loop and solve that issue. Now they may say while we're on the phone with the client that we need to revise our payment terms and issue a new contract. So we can come over here into the contracts archive, do a search for our supplier agreement template, and use this as the basis to generate a brand new contract. Now this document is a Word document, so we can, upon finding this template, we can take this document out into Microsoft Word and begin working on it just as we would any Word document. So we can say this is starting on the 10th day of September 2019 between Sound Coast and Blues Note, who is at 9 Main Street. And we can come over here to the payment terms and update those to 60-day terms. Now to get this back in as a new file, we can print using our Print to GlobalSearch printer driver. This is going to take this Word document, run it through the printer, and allow me to index it back into my contracts archive. So we can say this is a new Blues Note document for 9/10/2019. The description is a supplier agreement, and the contract type is, we'll put it in an executed state to where we can then come back to that document so that it can be distributed for execution. So here inside of our executed contracts archive, you'll see here's the updated Blues Note supplier agreement. And one easy way to distribute it for execution is to use our built-in DocuSign integration. So from here, we can take and distribute this document out via DocuSign. This requires a DocuSign account. You would simply log in, select the template that goes along with your supplier agreement, and from there, the client would receive that. They can go ahead and sign it off, and then the signed copy would come back into GlobalSearch as document version 2. Now, if you had a contracting process that needed to go back and forth with redlining, You'll see here that I do have one redline contract in the system. And if we go ahead and open that up, this is also a Word document, but it'll show us any markup that we have. So you'll notice that when this contract was originally created, the date of the project was incorrect, so it's been recommended to be updated to 2020 as a recommended end date. If we needed to make further reviews or red lines, we could easily launch the document back out into Microsoft Word. Now this is a little bit different from what we saw before, because this is allowing us to make inline changes. So I could come in here, I could accept the insertion, save my changes, and that is going to link with the current record that we have in GlobalSearch. So before I didn't want to update the template, I wanted to create a brand new document, but here I do want to update this existing document in the system. So we make that change, you'll see that the document version has now been updated to version 3, and that change is accepted in the system. So you can do a complex contract review with multiple parties inside of GlobalSearch, and using versioning as the information is changed and updated, we can go back to and refer to previous versions of the document and see version 2 where that redlined change was recommended. So that should give you a really good view of the GlobalSearch solution and a visual for all of the different powerful capabilities that it has to centrally store, manage, and secure your important business documents. So just to summarize again, GlobalSearch C2 is a cloud-hosted enterprise content management solution. It eliminates the need to manage and procure an internal hardware infrastructure for the centralized storage, secure management of documents. Because it's built in the cloud, it's also maintenance-free, so there's no need to apply upgrades or perform lengthy backups to protect your information. As we discussed, this sits on top of Amazon Web Services, which is extremely reliable and secure. It's designed for 99.9% uptime and data durability, and all documents, both stored at rest as well as in transit, are completely encrypted. The Business Essentials component comes pre-configured for rapid deployment for the practice areas of accounts payable, accounts receivable, human resources, and contract management. Getting those documents into this solution is a breeze. You can scan from any desktop scanner or multifunction device. Using a multifunction device with scan to folder capabilities, our Direct Connect solution will automatically watch the folder being scanned to and automatically ingest those documents for indexing. You can also import any native e-document formats that you have, like Word documents, spreadsheets, or existing PDFs. GlobalSearch C2 provides concurrent access and in real time to any documents in the solution that you've been granted access to from any modern browser. I should probably point out that throughout the demo, I was logged in as an admin user, so I was able to unencumbered access all of those practice areas and all of the documents. But in a production scenario, your users are going to have security profiles that determine exactly what they can see and what they can do. And as we discussed, this solution is scalable. You can optionally add on solutions for capture automation, like our global capture solution that adds the ability to do optical character recognition to automatically process documents. You could add our workflow engine, Global Action, for business process management. That can be used to examine the criteria of documents and automatically route them through a workflow process.